Hey guys, what is going on? Payne here once again, and welcome back to another edition of WWE 2K14 Experience. The last pay-per-view before we head to Wrestlemania, the grandest stage of them all, would be No Way Out, and that's only a couple of days away. But first we had to go through Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. Over the past couple of weeks in the WWE, superstars from both Raw and Smackdown have been competing, trying to qualify for their respective Elimination Chamber match, whether it be for Raw or Smackdown. In the Raw Elimination Chamber, we will see all three members of The Shield take on John Cena, Ryback and Daniel Bryan. There will be one winner who will be going to WrestleMania to face CM Punk or The Rock for the WWE Championship. The Smackdown Elimination Chamber will see The Big Show enter, Christian, Sheamus, Titus O'Neil, Damien Sandow and Wade Barrett, who this past week came over to Raw from Smackdown to face the Big Red Machine, Kane. Last week on Friday Night Smackdown, Wade Barrett qualified for the Smackdown Elimination Chamber by steamrolling through Justin Gabriel. It has now been confirmed that Justin Gabriel received a concussion at the hands of Wade Barrett last week on SmackDown after a massive bullhammer. As we know, Wade Barrett lifted Gabriel high into the air, and on the way back down came the elbow smash to the skull of Gabriel. That wasn't enough for Wade Barrett. He went outside the ring once Gabriel was on a stretcher and started beating him down, knocking him to the floor. Wade Barrett made his intentions known that he wants to go on to No Way Out, compete in the Elimination Chamber, win it, and headline WrestleMania, taking on Randy Orton for his World Heavyweight Championship. This past week on Monday Night Raw though, Wade Barrett was having a tough time against the Big Red Machine, Kane. Everything Barrett threw at Kane in this match didn't seem to bother Kane whatsoever. He kept coming back at Barrett, wanting more. Barrett finally met his match, and Kane, it would seem that Barrett has been absolutely dominant over on Friday Night Smackdown. Maybe this is what Wade Barrett needed, a wake-up call coming on over to Monday Night Raw. Barrett had to be careful though this past week on Monday Night Raw against Kane. He needs to stay fresh for that Elimination Chamber at No Way Out, because he's not going to be facing just one guy. He's going to be facing the likes of The Big Show, Christian and Sheamus, let alone being surrounded by 10 tons of solid steel. All he had to do was keep his cool, stay focused throughout this match with Kane, keeping his mind clear and be alert to the dangers that Kane can bring to the table when put under pressure. Sometimes it seems as though Kane goes to that special place, something triggers it within his brain, and then it's full on from there. Kane in this match clamped that hand around Wade Barrett's nose and mouth, trying to suffocate him. And then eventually as Barrett got to his feet, Kane from out of nowhere wrapped his hand around Barrett's throat and sent him to hell. Got the chokeslam and also got the pin. Kane picked up a win against Wade Barrett. Not looking good for Barrett as he heads into No Way Out for the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. It makes you wonder why the Big Red Machine Kane isn't in the Raw Elimination Chamber after a match like that, after beating someone like Wade Barrett. Who knows what Kane has planned heading to WrestleMania. Also, this past week on Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes will be taking on the Intercontinental Champion, the Awesome One, The Miz, in a singles match. Now, the stipulation for this one was, if Cody Rhodes was to beat The Miz, he would then go to No Way Out and face The Miz once again, but this time with The Miz's Intercontinental Championship on the line. As Cody Rhodes made his way to the ring, it was quite clear that he was focused and he was ready for this match, because if he could possibly face The Miz at No Way Out, beat him for his Intercontinental Championship, he could be heading to WrestleMania as a champion. Last week on Monday Night Raw, the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, suffered defeat at the hands of the Animal Batista. Once the match was over and done with, Batista took to the microphone talking about his match against the Dead Man, The Undertaker, at WrestleMania, trying to put an end to the streak. Undertaker eventually came through the ring. He ripped open the canvas, came out, chokeslammed Batista into the depths of hell, and we haven't seen Batista since. At least The Miz managed to get away scot-free without having to deal with The Undertaker, which obviously saw him face Cody Rhodes this past week on Monday Night Raw. Rhodes, though, was taking The Miz to the absolute limit. It has been a while since Cody Rhodes has felt gold around his waist. He was talking in an interview before this match and said that he has set himself a goal to at least be holding a championship title before WrestleMania is upon us. He also said that it's about time someone wiped that smirk off The Miz's face. We thought Batista had done it last week after he Batista bombed him into the canvas, but it just seems as though Miz is back to his usual way. In this match, The Miz with a skull-crushing finale on Cody Rhodes. We thought it was all over, but Rhodes managed to kick out. Such resilience, wanting to go to No Way Out to face The Miz once again, but with the title on the line. This was Cody Rhodes' opportunity now to make sure that he was in that match. With the crossroads on The Miz, Rhodes went for the cover and got the 3 count. There we have it. Cody Rhodes is going to No Way Out to face The Miz for his Intercontinental Championship. Will Cody Rhodes be successful? Will he have gold once again round his waist before WrestleMania?
Perhaps the biggest in his life. And that's it for this explosive night of Raw. So long.
A bit later on Monday Night Raw this past week, some interesting developments. What is this? Dean Ambrose talking to Mr. McMahon, and Ryback was listening into the conversation. What could Ambrose be talking to Mr. McMahon about? Last week, Mr. McMahon set the stipulation that if the Shield were to get involved with Cena or Bryan or even Ryback's match, then they would be out of the Elimination Chamber. But it seems as though Mr. McMahon is in cahoots with the Shield. So it now seems as though Ryback is going to have to team up with Daniel Bryan and John Cena to take out the Shield in that Elimination Chamber at No Way Out. Who knows what will happen? You guys are just going to have to stay tuned. And we had to move on with Monday Night Raw this past week. Both The Rock and the WWE Champion CM Punk have been at each other's throats for the past couple of weeks now. The Rock, as you know, returned at the Royal Rumble, beating 29 other superstars to earn a shot at the WWE title. The Rock said he couldn't wait until WrestleMania for his WWE title shot, and so this past week on Monday Night Raw, both CM Punk and The Rock signed on the dotted line. It's official, The Rock will be challenging CM Punk for his WWE Championship at No Way Out. The main event of Monday Night Raw saw John Cena and Daniel Bryan team up to take on the Real Americans. Last week on Monday Night Raw, both John Cena and Daniel Bryan agreed to watch each other's backs when it came to the Elimination Chamber at No Way Out. They felt it was unfair that all 3 members of the Shield should be in that Elimination Chamber. And now it seems as though Daniel Bryan and John Cena have managed to get Ryback on board with their plan for No Way Out this Sunday. We all know what could possibly happen in that Raw Elimination Chamber at No Way Out. If all 3 members of the Shield weren't eliminated, the numbers game would eventually catch up with Bryan, Cena and Ryback. It would be a one-sided match. And then you've got to question whether all 3 members of the Shield would be able to coexist. Who would want to win the match? I'm sure someone like Dean Ambrose would want to be headlining WrestleMania, taking on CM Punk or The Rock. Same goes for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Whatever happens on Sunday at No Way Out in that Raw Elimination Chamber, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, in the middle of the main event match on Monday Night Raw this past week, the cameras cut to backstage. Ryback was heading out the locker room, and who was there waiting for him but Roman Reigns from the Shield. He threw Ryback with such force and brutality, he made it look easy, into the equipment boxes. Maybe this attack from Roman Reigns was because Ryback earlier on in the evening was listening to Ambrose and Mr. McMahon discussing matters. What they were talking about, we're not too sure just yet, but that's probably why Roman Reigns attacked Ryback as he came out of the locker room. It was a warning. It was the Shield basically saying, we're going to silence you. We don't want you coming out and saying what was being said. If you do, then this is going to happen more frequently. The main event of Monday Night Raw with Cena and Bryan taking on the Real Americans was still going on, whilst backstage assistants and staff were helping Ryback get to his feet, seeing that he was okay. Thankfully for Bryan and Cena, they managed to pick up the win against the Real Americans to finish off Monday Night Raw, going into No Way Out as strong as possible. And there was that handshake of reassurance between Bryan and John Cena. They've got each other's backs when it comes to the Elimination Chamber at No Way Out. But after the match, as they headed out of the ring, who should come out and spoil the party but Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose from the Shield, attacking Cena and Bryan from behind. Ambrose and Rollins brought Raw to an end after decimating Bryan and Cena in the middle of that ring this past week on Monday Night Raw. Could this be a sign of things to come for No Way Out this Sunday in that Raw Elimination Chamber? Could we see either Ambrose, Rollins or even Reigns prevail and head to WrestleMania to take on either The Rock or CM Punk for the WWE Championship? You guys are just going to have to stay tuned. As mentioned earlier, qualifying for both Elimination Chamber matches at No Way Out have been completed on both Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. Now, last week on Smackdown, Titus O'Neil came out on top in a qualifying match against Mark Henry, which kind of put the whole of the WWE Universe into shock, because we was expecting the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, to pick up a win there. Now, this past week on Friday Night Smackdown, Titus O'Neil was seen backstage with his tag team partner Darren Young, and it seems as though Titus O'Neil doesn't want this to ruin their friendship just because he qualified for the Elimination Chamber instead of Darren Young. So they shook hands and agreed to still be friends, still be tag team partners, and even if Titus O'Neil was to go on and win the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, he said that he will not forget Darren Young. He will include him in the celebrations, and even if he was to go on to WrestleMania and face Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship, he would include Darren Young in that match. Maybe bringing him to the ring. Who knows what will happen? Again, guys, you're just going to have to stay tuned to see what happens this Sunday at No Way Out. Anyway, moving on, the first match of Friday Night Smackdown this past week saw the Big Show go head-to-head against Christian. As you know, both guys have now qualified for that SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. This match was an opportunity for everyone in the WWE Universe to get a taste of what it's going to be like at No Way Out in that Elimination Chamber, with the Big Show and Christian going head-to-head. The Big Show, dominant as ever, running rampant against Christian, and he finished this match with a knockout blow to the jaw of Christian. You've got to be wondering whether Christian's going to be able to compete in 2 days' time at No Way Out after a blow like that to the jawline. I don't know about you guys, but my money is on that guy, the Big Show, to walk out of No Way Out as the winner of the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. As we continued on with Friday Night Smackdown, again we got another opportunity, another taste to see what it could be like in that Elimination Chamber. Sheamus went head-to-head against Damien Sandow, the intellectual saviour of the masses. It was just last week on Friday Night Smackdown that Sheamus returned to action here in the WWE. We haven't seen him for many months after suffering from not only a concussion but broken ribs as well at the hands of the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. It came after Extreme Rules. Mark Henry took it upon himself after he had lost to Sheamus in a singles match to just go to town on him. He placed Sheamus's skull against the steel ring post, booted his skull in almost, giving him the concussion, and then he continued the assault by taking Sheamus out on the outside with the world's strongest slam onto the mat and then spearing him through the fan barricade. It was absolute chaos for Sheamus, and it is great to see him back now in the WWE, looking better than ever. He returned last week, as you know, and straight away got himself qualified into that Elimination Chamber for No Way Out. This match against Damien Sandow, it was one-sided. Sheamus taking the lead as always. And after this match this past week on Friday Night Smackdown, I feel as though maybe I should change my bet from the Big Show to Sheamus. I just don't know who's going to win. It's going to be very interesting, very exciting to see who will come out of No Way Out. And what a devastating bro kick to Damien Sandow. Sheamus lifting him high into the air, and then as Damien Sandow comes back down, boom, bro kick right into the face of Sandow. So Sheamus picks up an easy win against Sandow, going into No Way Out, looking confident, ready for that Elimination Chamber. The main event of Friday Night Smackdown this past week saw the primetime players Titus O'Neil and Darren Young going head to head against Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. As you saw earlier, Titus O'Neil shook hands with his best friend Darren Young. They want to stay friends. They don't want this to affect their friendship in any way with Titus O'Neil qualifying. They want to put jealousy out the window. They don't even want to include this into their friendship. And Darren Young was more than compliant. That's why he shook the hand of Titus O'Neil. And there is always that possibility that if it doesn't work out at No Way Out for Titus O'Neil, they could even compete for the Tag Team Championships. Darren Young, he is just happy for his friend Titus O'Neil to get himself in such a position where he could possibly be going to WrestleMania. What a move that will be for his career. And you've just got to take your hat off to Darren Young for being such a good friend to Titus O'Neil, whereas there's probably other people out there that wouldn't like the fact that their tag team partner has just qualified for that Elimination Chamber. They was completely left out of it. But Darren Young, he's there, he's staying strong for his friend and will be supporting him at No Way Out. Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio, flamboyant as ever, all over the ring, springboards here and there, swinging all over the place like I'm seeing double vision with Spider-Man. They were putting the primetime players to the test in this main event on Friday Night Smackdown. But Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, they've been partners for a while now. They know what it takes to win a tag team match. But then again, Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio as a tag team, who would have thought? But they seem so natural together when partnering up for a tag team match. It got to the point where it seemed as though the primetime players would be on the losing end of this match against Mysterio and Sin Cara, but eventually Titus O'Neil turned the main event of Friday Night Smackdown this past week in their favour, tagging in Darren Young. And take a look at this as well for innovation. O'Neil lifted Darren Young high into the air. Looked like he was going to hit a suplex on him, but then dropped him on top of Sin Cara. Just imagine all that weight, that dead weight pretty much, being dropped on top of your own body. Well, as the match went on, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara started to build momentum. Mysterio tagging Sin Cara into the ring and just demonstrating how well they work together. Eventually, the match turned around in the primetime players' favour once again. Sin Cara with a hot tag. In comes Rey Mysterio. Darren Young getting the better of Mysterio with that net breaker. O'Neil wanting the tag. In he comes. And out of nowhere, Darren Young with a big DDT, laying out his tag team partner in the centre of the ring. Then Young drapes Mysterio's arm across O'Neil's chest, and the referee is forced to count the pinfall. Mysterio, Sin Cara pick up the win. After all that, Darren Young turns on his tag team partner, Titus O'Neil. What will happen at the upcoming pay-per-view? No Way Out. Before you go, guys, here is the final match card for No Way Out this Sunday. The Raw Elimination Chamber, Ryback versus Cena versus Daniel Bryan versus all three members of The Shield. Will Ryback, Cena and Bryan team up to take out The Shield? The Smackdown Elimination Chamber will see the Big Show go head to head against Sandow, Barrett, Christian, Sheamus and O'Neil Will O'Neal be able to put his differences aside with his friend Darren Young after what just happened this past week on Friday night and go on to win the Elimination Chamber? Or could we be seeing the Big Show walking out of the Elimination Chamber, heading to WrestleMania to take on Randy Orton for his World Heavyweight Championship? The WWE Championship is on the line. The Rock couldn't wait any longer. He will be challenging CM Punk. CM Punk will have to put his WWE Championship on the line. Could The Rock be going to WrestleMania as the WWE Champion? Or will CM Punk be able to overcome the People's Champion and retain that championship title? Also, the WWE Intercontinental Championship is on the line. The Miz has got his work cut out after he has already lost to Cody Rhodes this past week on Monday Night Raw. It all goes down at No Way Out. I hope to see you all there. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of WWE 2K14 Experience.